All right, and we are live.
Okay.
Okay, this is a combination of Fandango Friday Uncensored and Shooting the Shit, and we're here. Your host, Damien the Dissenter Owens, is your host. We got the co-host, yours truly, James P. Madonna, and Mr. Mike Hilton from San Francisco, California, Blade Runner Blues. And what time are you doing your show tomorrow, Mr. Hilton? In the afternoon?
Thank you so much for asking that. That won't be tomorrow. That will be every Sunday. Every Sunday at 5 o'clock. So every Sunday at 5 o'clock is what we
5 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh yes.
That's
if I
8.
don't do that, you guys can send me a virtual slap in the face because
That's 8. Yeah, that's 8. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time. And when you go live, it might still be some daylight left. You might be on the terrace, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing: is I can go live on my terrace from maybe 5 to maybe like 7:30. Anytime beyond that, neighbors get all annoyed, even though it's like 8 o'clock. And sometimes when I hear other neighbors, they're being loud at like 9 or 10 o'clock at nighttime. So they complain about the shit that I'm doing.
Wait a minute.
The shit that they're doing, it's like at fucking 9 or 10 o'clock, man.
Yeah, but you're doing the early bird special, and they're getting upset.
Yeah, I've heard them at like 10. I've heard them at like 10 o'clock at night sometimes.
You should yell off the terrace. Hey, I thought California people are laid back like surfers, man. What do you relax, chill out, relax. So they're getting
James. Thanks by the way for reaching out, and I appreciate that. And I know we don't always agree about everything, but I really appreciate you reaching out. And I know I lost my host spot. I know that. I appreciate that.
well, I know.
I really respect what you do, man, and I really respect that you keep on trudging along. And I respect that you keep on just showing the world what you're about. Just that's only what somebody can do in their natural state. And
Well,
I think people like you were natural.
Thank you. I think the both of us have a lot of similar views and things in common. I think we both.
Oh yeah.
We both did many shows where you and I agreed on many things. And, I wanted, the reason why I said daylight on the terrace is I wanted you to show the viewers the orange skies of San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that actually happened on Wednesday. I think it happened on Wednesday. It did not happen yesterday.
It cleared up?
It all... whatever day it happened, it already cleared up for some reason. So it's just I'm sorry, guys. I tried to get it to you guys, but I'm sorry, man. I tried to do what I could, but it's just I think that was like once it was kind of like a milestone kind of thing. It was kind of like a once in a lifetime kind of thing that happened.
Well, I mean, you could still rant about climate change drying out the Pacific coast, and now some of these guys, some of these flag wavers are saying that, oh no, it doesn't come from climate change, it comes from a lack of logging. There's no more logging industry in Northern California.
More like flag huggers. So some people
flag
say
huggers.
Tree hugger, maybe they're a fucking flag hugger, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well he said that the loggers used to clean up the forests of all the dead branches and the dried needles. You know how vast the forest is in the Northwest? Is he out of his mind? The loggers can't clean up the forests of the Northwest. There's not enough.
That happens after the fire season. I just feel like people are raking up the leaves after the fire season. Now, it might sound trippy after this, but I feel like people are just raking up the leaves just after the season already ended.
Yeah.
So,
well, he mentioned protecting the spotted owl. He says that he was starting to get into you liberals trying to protect all the endangered species, and you made it difficult for the logging industry, and that's why you have forest fires. No, the climate change really does exist, and that's what
he is fucking. I'm gonna do something on another screen here for a second, but he is fucking deflecting responsibility onto other people, and that's what Republicans classically do. Republicans, man. All they do is just. I have some horrible neighbors because I feel like they are just Republicans who always blame things. They were accosting contractors. They were giving contractors on the property shit and telling them what to do. So yeah, exactly. They were giving people who were helping out, trying to make sure that the property looks good, shit about what to do. And somebody posted a sign about a tree, and it's just, oh my god, just what gives these people this autonomy? What makes these people think that they could just do this? And I was walking toward my bus today, and this weird guy with the dog was coming up, and his dog was being all, me with dogs. Just his dog was being all crazy. But the leash doesn't mean shit. The leash doesn't mean shit because the dog will be acting crazy. Okay.
Well, you know what they do? The dog owners, they're like the young parents. They're like the young parents. The kids are not on a leash either. I mean, they let the kids do anything they want when they take them out. They run roughshod, and
I don't deal with this in San Francisco. Maybe in the wealthier neighborhoods, but as soon as I'm in the Tenderloin neighborhood, I'm just like, on my way to work, on my way to the office.
Yeah,
I have a total sense of ease. I'm just like totally.
What did the woman say about the tree? She wants to adopt it. She wants to hug it. What is she?
Yeah. Basically, that's basically what she said, and she was
the poor tree. Well, it's Arbor Day. I think is in what is it? January or February or March? I forget. But anyway,
I don't understand this shit, man. It's just why do liberals think that they can just tell? I know you're a liberal, but you're a true liberal. When it comes to fake liberals, why do fake liberals think that they can just tell faux liberals? Just tell everybody else what they think is a prerogative because somebody else has a different view, and because somebody else has a different view, you are not in the right. I'm sorry. No, you are not in the right. You think you are right, but you are wrong in every circumstance.
Now, what is the purpose of the contractors when they come to visit the building? What exactly do they do? They see if anything needs repair, pretty much?
Yeah, they're just repairing things. And I hear in my emails, after I had dealt with a whole bunch of people accosting me with their dogs, just violating leash laws and being belligerent wherever I go. Not only that, but they are not social distancing and being creepy and crazy. Then I log into my email one day, and I find out that some of my neighbors have the audacity, have the balls to suggest to contractors, I feel like you, James, would have a lot to say about this, how contractors who are already hired, who are already on a contract, who are already being told what to do, who are already on orders, these old ladies, old people, whatever, they think that they can just tell them what to do. And I am just flabbergasted about that.
Oh yeah, we got those here in Tennessee. Believe you me, we got them, but it seems like they're more prevalent either out there or up north.
I think more prevalent up here. Maybe they're a little bit more reasonable down there. Maybe they.
Well, I can just picture them now. Hey, let me tell you something. Are you here to fix things? Well, I got a list for you. And I can just picture the old bags.
Oh yeah.
They're not.
Oh boy, have I got a list for you.
And they're already taking orders to just come on with that creep. Not you. With them.
Yeah, I mean the guys are under contract to do X, Y, and Z and no more. They're there for a purpose, not to answer to all these condo owners and tenants or whatever.
Yuppie motherfuckers.
Them too.
I have no problem saying that right now. Just yuppie motherfuckers.
Now we have signs. We have signs. If you're caught not picking up your dog's shit, you know, you get a heavy fine over here. They got to be on a leash, and yeah.
Oh, okay. So what they're basically telling you is that you are not in the authority to be handling anybody or anything else. You are in the authority to be handling yourself. And
well, that dog, they're saying you take responsibility for your pet. That's your dog. You keep him on a leash. His behavior or her behavior is your responsibility, and you pick up the crap when it takes a dump, or else you get a hefty fine. And that's what they do.
What do you think about dogs, owners that let their dogs sniff tables and shit like that? And they just stand there and let it happen. Like, oh, I'm standing here. I think I'm going to make some friends. No, make a therapist. But it's just, what do you think about dog owners who let their dogs go up on other tables and sniff people's tables? And people are just going to act like in the middle of their food, in the middle of their meal, like they are going to be disrupted or disturbed in any way.
Well, you know what they say to you? You know what they say to you when you open your mouth? The same thing happens when their kids are bothering strangers. They go, "Oh, what's wrong? You don't like dogs? You don't like kids? You got some?" No, I don't. I don't have a problem with dogs and kids. I have a problem is when they're bothering, they're annoying me, and you're the parent or you're the owner of the pooch, the dog.
What you're saying is I don't have a problem with them. I have a problem with you.
Yeah, it's it's their responsibility. You know, I mean, it's not my dog. It's not my kid. It's not my whatever the hell you got as a pet, a Bengal tiger or whatever. You know, it's not mine.
I wish I had a tiger, but yeah.
Yeah, my friend in Tampa.
Like, oh no, I'm staying away from him.
My friend in Tampa says she's got a male friend with a cougar. And he brings the cougar over the house sometimes. It's on a leash and a collar, and the neighbors are freaking out because he says the only thing first of all, they're not pets, they're wild animals. He says the only thing is you can't make any fast darting movements.
How does somebody remember that? What if you're drunk, or what if you're wasted, or what if you're
I mean, I can remember a lot of things even when I'm drunk.
With a big cat, like even little cats make like if they see something dart like real fast, they'll like go. Whoosh.
Oh, they'll fuck some shit up.
Little domestic cats do the same thing the big cats do. And
a lot of dogs are dumb. A lot of cats are fucking smart, and cats perceive for 1 second that they are getting fished upon, they will fuck shit up. So,
I had a friend with two male cats, Spunky and Clyde. And one time his girlfriend was trying to play fight with him, and she was trying to get act like a dude and get rough. And Spunky and Clyde got in between her and him, and their back went up, the hairs went up, and they went right at her.
Oh no!
They showed their teeth and everything.
Damien, I don't care what's going on.
You know, with that last part there. And she got scared. She was so scared because they were big. They were big males, you know. And
I'm fucking glad to be back with you guys, man. I'm sorry for anything, but I'm glad to be back with you guys. And
It's cool. I understand.
And James, Jamie's been showing up.
I don't hold grudges. I don't stay mad for very long. Maybe a couple hours or a few hours, whatever. I get over everything, you know.
But then
so,
after, like, hey, let's just let it go. It's not working.
But you know who's been aggravating? You know who's been aggravating the shit out of Eric Fraunfelter? Is a man by the name of Johnny Womack.
Oh, Johnny Womack. I'm curious, how many of these can he drink? If he can drink this, then he really is a man.
That guy can be cool sometimes, but he's got to watch what he says sometimes because he's going to piss somebody off. And it's just,
well, he can't. I can't.
From what I see from how he interacts with people, just he's going to piss, and it's happened to me. He's going to piss somebody off. He's going to say something, and then he gets fucking booted off. And it's just, I'm sorry, but it's just, I think at least Eric just realized, you know, hey, maybe I need to calm down a little bit. But John is like, I'm just gonna keep on going.
Well, he brags,
right?
He brags about all the women he has sex with, but they're all hired prostitutes.
Yeah,
and he brags like they're his girlfriends, like he picked them up and all that. And
brag about women that you picked up at a bar who approached you first.
Right, not women that you pay for, not women that you pay for.
Begged like 5 times for sex.
Yeah, like in other words, and then he says, and then he brags about he can drink anybody under the table, and he never gives a review about a beer and like you know the way you do and the way Damien does, and the way Eric does.
Even when I'm stone-faced, plastered drunk, I will always give even if I'm stone-faced, plastered, fucking drunk, if I come across a new beer, I will fucking do a beer with you. That's what I will do. I don't do it if I don't feel comfortable with it, or I just don't want to do it. But if I feel the vibe, if I feel the thing, I will definitely do it. I will definitely do it.
Now, Dr. Dave has a really, I think it's off to a fantastic start. He has a new craft beer Facebook group called, I think it's called World Lovers of Beer or Beer World Lovers, or I'm a member there, but it's really good though. It's really good. He deals with top of the line craft beers. Yeah.
Well, some people don't consider this a craft beer, but I mean, if you think about it, with as much stuff as they add in, there's actually a craft style that I can relate this to. It's not an IPA, but just a regular pale ale. So if you're familiar with pale ales, with the amount of malt and the amount of hops and the yeast they use, it's kind of like this. But what I love about it, this is probably the best beer in the macro style you can go for, because 2 42-ounce bottles for $5, really can't beat that. And plus, it's 8.1.
Right
here, 8.1% alcohol by volume, and it says, you know, extra malted barley and select hops for extra gravity.
Yeah.
So I mean, they use a lot of malt, a lot of yeast, a lot of hops, a lot of adjuncts, but it's balanced. So you get the malt, you get the grain, you get the breadiness, you get the hops. But at 8.1, you would think this would be boozy, but in reality, yeah, it is to a point, but you don't get that alcohol taste until after it goes down. You get that smooth burn, and then when it hits your stomach, it comes back up. It warms you up. But you cannot accuse this beer of being dull or boring, or it lacks no flavor, no body, no robustness. So if you really want the best of the American adjunct lager world, this is it. This is like the pinnacle of the best the macro beer, at least here in America, has to offer with everything.
Well, I was disappointed with the Japanese beer I brought on Wildcard Wednesday. It was a company called Orion. It was a draft beer. It was very light. It was something you could guzzle all summer long, every day and all day, all day. It was a light. They called it a lager, but no way. It was pretty light, and it had adjuncts. It had corn and rice, along with the hops and barley, but it was extremely lighter than a Corona. I mean, really light, and I wasn't impressed by it for the price, because it was from Japan. It was not a lager like in the sense of Dos Equis Ambar or Modelo Especial. You know, they were much better tasting than this Orion.
Right. Well, if you ever see this, pick it up, try it, and buy it, because I think you would like it. I mean, this beer, when it at 8.1%, you would think, it does have body and robustness. Yeah, it actually does have body and robustness. Like, in terms of the flavor, it is bold, it is rich, and it's powerful, but it's smooth. You'd think 8.1%, and you think, they just slab these things together and then, they just call it a day. But surprisingly, very smooth for what it is. And if you like the body, you like the flavor, you love it. The flavor and the body, I would say, is medium, probably medium to heavy, probably more on the heavy side. But this, like I said, if you really want the pinnacle of the best that the American adjunct lagers have to offer, this is it. If you see it, pick it up, buy it, and try it. I would not recommend drinking this on an empty stomach. No way in hell would you ever want to drink this on an empty stomach. At 8.1, it'll show you a great time, but you fuck around with it, disrespect it, it will mess you up and show you why you don't fuck with it. But you treat it with care, treat it with respect, pace yourself, you'll be shown a great time with the Still Reserve.
Oh yeah.
There are pros to it. I mean, the biggest pros I can think of is you get a nice, rich, robust drinking experience, and the price is right. I mean, a 4-pack of pints will cost you $4. 242s will cost you about $5. And if you are in for the night, you got all of the food prepared that you want to eat for the night, you're in. Now, however big of a pros there are some cons with it. It will make you drunk as shit. You might crash, and it will give you the rams, and it'll make you fight. So if you got that woman that's finally got your attention and you want to beat it up in the bedroom, drink you some of this. I promise you will beat it up in the bedroom. But if you have that bully that's been smacking you around and you're just getting tired of his or her shit and you want to fight, yeah, this will give you liquid courage to make you stand up and fight. So remember, treat the Still Reserve with care and respect. You treat him with care and respect, he'll show you a great time. You fuck around with him, he'll show you why you don't ever want to fuck with him.
Yeah, it's definitely a potent elixir, and Michael Hilton's craft beers, every one that he's ever brought on a video was excellent. Oh, you got a bunch of date palms, mango cart.
Mango cart. This is from
Oh.
Trader Joe's.
Oh, really?
And John and Nelly of Georgia Beer Reviews reviewed this the other day, and this is 4% alcohol. I think it's 25 IBUs, although it could be 13. And it's a can of craft beer, and this is a good craft beer to have. It's really good. If you want to put me on full, if you want to put me on full.
Yeah, you gotta ask Damien, because he's hosting. I don't have control.
Sorry, what was that?
Damien, if you want to put me on hold for a second, buddy, this is a pretty cool craft.
The other over by him, by his
All
underneath.
right, hang on. Let me see. Let me see how to make you full screen.
Oh no, on his on his video below. There you go.
You got it. This is
All right, go right ahead, buddy.
Thanks, Damien. This is Mango Cart by Golden Road. It is a, I think it's a mango wheat beer, and it's clocking in at 4% ABV. It's very, very sessionable. It's not even a brown bottle. It's a can. It is not overly sweet. This is not an excessively floral beer. You're going to get some bitterness on this beer. I think, as I was telling James, maybe anywhere from 13 to 25 IBU. Here's a look at the body. Carbonation dissipates a little bit, but that doesn't matter nonetheless. Still some bubbles in there. Looks unfiltered. Damien, what would you say, buddy? Does that look unfiltered or does that look filtered?
It looks filtered to a point. I mean, just by the degree of haziness that beer has to it, I would say it's probably filtered just enough to get the excess sediment out of it, but I don't think they really filtered it extremely to strip any body or flavor.
Don't filter your beer, bro. That's what I would say. Don't filter your beer, bro. Don't brew sweet beer. Don't brew sweet beer. Don't filter your beer. That is a
Well, like I said,
idea.
it looks like it's filtered enough just to give it the nice appearance, but not really to destroy the body or flavor.
Oh no! They struck the right chord with this one. That's gonna be a rum. A lot of mango, so I think that there's a lot of Cascade hops going on. So because they talked about mango on this beer, I'm automatically assuming that there's a lot of Cascade hops. They even series inspired by the iconic root car vendors of Los Angeles. So this is a Los Angeles beer, and it's a wheat ale with mango and natural flavors. So nothing's unnatural, no additives, no preservatives. I'm trying to look for a canned on date. There's a canned on date, but as Ronald Theriot would say, there's a canned on date, but it doesn't make sense. Oh man. I hear you, Ron. I hear you, Ron.
Well, here's the date on my beer. On this still reserve, freshness date, February 8th, 2021. So this is super fresh.
Nice. That's good. Let's get a sip. What do we say? What do we say? What do we say at the beginning of every beer review?
Let's just go ahead and dive right in and cheers.
Close. Let's get into it. Cheers. All right, I'm gonna stand up for this one. That's my tell. That's my tell that this beer is creating a big kind of impression for me. All right. So if you're a bittering hop kind of guy, this one will be maybe like a 4 out of 10 for you when it comes to the bittering hops, when it comes to the hop intensity. If you're not really about that, if you're not really about the hops, you're not really about the bittering, this one's going to be like maybe like a 6, 8 out of 10 for you. You know, you might think that when you see this can, that it's going to be overly floral, overly tangy, sweet.
What'd you say the IBUs were?
The IBUs were like 13 to 25, but
so that's mild. That is very mild.
But even at mild IBU, for people who are not used to, people who are not hop heads, just this one will get you. This one will get you.
Well, even at like 13 to 25, like even the still reserve I'm drinking, they say the IBU is around like I would say 15 to 20, which for this style is correct. But I mean,
it's not bad
for a pale ale or an IPA. I mean, for a pale ale, 20 IBU really is nothing. But for an IPA, that is extremely, extremely mild. That's kind of more in your basic, just regular craft beer. Like let's say you want to have a basic craft lager or a basic craft ale. In that range, that's really where most of them are going to be. So where I would really play something like that is like I'd say, okay, you're a light beer drinker, maybe a regular beer drinker, and you want to try the craft game, see if it's for you. That would be a great intro.
Oh yeah, I agree. Listen, man. Hey, when it comes to my YouTube, John and Ellie's gonna be down here when it comes to channel recommendations, but other channel recommendations will come soon. When it comes to my YouTube channel, I think over here is going to be the subscribe, and you will get all the videos, even if you're on a TV screen. And then up here will be the most recent video. Over here will be the video most tailored to your needs as an individual YouTuber. So even if you are signing into other devices, you will still always get the video that speaks most to you from my channel. So if you're always searching Hefeweizen, or you're always searching New England double IPAs or something like that, it'll always pop up on that channel. Now for this beer, I've had this beer before. I gave it a lower rating, but this is Golden Road Mango Cart, a second look. And I think upon a second look, this one is pretty much getting an A, man. I think it's I've sipped it, and I've sipped it. It's like a 9 out of 10. I think that it is really pretty good. And if you have it with pizza or with a barbecue, whatever, you might not get totally wasted or drunk off it, but you will still have a nice effect, and you will still be in that kind of place of okay, I have a nice beer here. I got the grill rolling, I got the stove rolling, whatever, and I'm just ready to go. It's a good beer, and like I said, if you are a hop head, this is maybe like a 4 out of 10 for you. If you're not a hop head, this is like a 6 or 7 out of you. 6 or 7 for you when it comes to intensity. When it comes to hop intensity. So just to let you know. So this one's pretty freaking hoppy for a lot of people who have not gone into craft beer. But yeah, anyway, to drag it all down, to summarize it all down, to blow it down, this one is like a nice 9 out of 10.
Okay, well, I mean, if I was to say a 9 out of 10, to me that'd be like an A minus, B plus. That'd be like very good, maybe marginally excellent. So, all right.
It's very good. I like it. Damien, buddy, you would like this, man. With some pizza or something like that, just fire it up. I've done it before. You would.
Here's something I've noticed with like a bit more hoppy forward beers. Anything with hops, like an extreme amount of hops, I've tried pairing it with foods and things like that. I've yet to really find an IPA that I can pair with a food. That's why I kind of just have IPAs as a standalone product. But let's see, what you got there, James?
I got American Pale Ale from the local brewery, Brick City, which is about 15 minutes from me, and it's called Horn Section. It's an American Pale Ale.
Okay.
Oh, shit, man, that looks like
so just a regular pale ale. Okay. So what's the ABV? What's the IBU?
Well, a lot of these independent breweries don't. They'll hold on. I should got the magnifying glass. 5.5% alcohol by volume. 5.5. It's I think this is the one that was. Oh, it's made with. It's double dry hop with Galaxy hops.
Okay, Galaxy hops. Okay,
oh, Galaxy hops are, Damien. Galaxy hops are incredible. you know what, guys, you just inspired me. I'm going to the city. I didn't want to go to the city tomorrow, but I'm going to the city. I'm gonna find myself a beer with some Galaxy hops, man. But oh man, James, take it away, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't list the the alcohol by volume. Well, I mean the what do you call it? The second number that you gave, but I noticed a lot of these small breweries don't give you too much data, like the date it was produced, and but of course it's a hazy New England style pale ale, and has a very citrusy and floral aroma and flavor, which might be from the Galaxy hops. Definitely a pronounced hop flavoring, which it tastes just as nice as it smells. Double dry Galaxy, and unfortunately, I don't see it on their menu of products, and they're always adding new beers, stouts, and always new products to their line, and some of them are really elaborate. At the Brick City menu page that they have there, they have events. I was never there. It was so close to my hometown, but I was never there. They have events. They have a tap room for tasting and ordering growlers and pints and just about anything you want in terms of quantities. It's a nice place. I mean, they have a decent website. BRIX, Little Ferry, New Jersey, Brick City. So we have another 2 breweries in the northeastern New Jersey area. No, 3. We have 3 of them. One of them is that guy, Mr. Hoffman.
Right. You told me about him.
That posts on Everything is Food. That's Climax Brewery in Roselle, New Jersey. He seems to have a pretty good product line, but you could pick his brains and he'll reply in a timely fashion. I mean, some of them, like the people at Brick City, they'll say, check social media for any new information about our brewery. I said to the guy, well, can't you give me a direct answer to my 2 questions? It's like, in other words, I don't have time to answer a customer's question, is what he's trying to say. So, he never replied after that. So
I know I'm interrupting a little bit.
Go ahead.
What that feels like, it's kind of like, and I know I muted my mic for a second, but what that feels like, it's kind of like the video game. If you guys have ever played this, this video game is by the App Store. It's beautiful. It's called Beyond the Steel Sky. If you log on to the Apple Store, I know some people have some beef with the Apple Store. Listen, I have plenty of issues with the Apple Store or Apple that I wish would be corrected. But if you log on and you play this game called Beyond the Steel Sky, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like what James described. It's like you ask people a simple question and they make you jump through all these hoops throughout the middle of the game. And when you're talking to other people, you feel you see it. You see it. The other characters are like staring at you. They're staring at you, sizing you up, and they're sizing you up and judging you, making sure that you're not tussling around. It's crazy, man. It kind of feels like real life in a way. So James, I know you're not a big Apple fan, but if you ever come across that, if you check out the game Beyond the Steel Sky,
Well, I have an app store on my Android. I'm sure it might be there. It probably is. Beyond
Guys,
the Steel Sky, but you know,
guys, check out Beyond the Steel Sky. That is a beautiful game.
you,
That
you
game,
know, you know what I asked the brewery. I says, would you be coming out with any brown and red ales?
oh, red ales. I got a red ale right now. So, I got a
or
red.
or dark brown or brown. And you've brought brown ales on shows before.
Yeah, like Guinness. It's just dark ales. I didn't. I'm sorry. I feel like I hijacked James a little bit. So James,
Oh,
kind of take it
are you
away.
talking about stouts? Guinness is a stout. You rather well, brown ale would be like Newcastle or Samuel Smith.
Oh, you know what? Real Ale Craft Beer Guide re-reviewed Newcastle the other day, and just his thumbnail on that YouTube video is like, he says, "What the fuck?" Basically, he couldn't really say it like that, but it's like, "What the fuck is this?" It's just
Yeah,
to review it.
people give New Brown, or the Brown Ale from
Yeah, and
Newcastle a lot of shit, but
oh no,
interestingly, you know what is really cool about the Newcastle Brown Ale? If you get some really nice barbecue, it pairs really well with barbecue. Because before I moved down here to Tennessee, when me and my wife, before we got married, we were still living together and we were still boyfriend and girlfriend. We stopped at this place called I forget what the name of it. It's a really nice barbecue place in Christiansburg, Virginia, where we used to live,
yeah,
and
Newcastle Brown Ale.
they offer like some of the best barbecue you could ever have, and they have a variety of different
But then why would
sauces.
they offer a Newcastle Brown Ale, dude?
Well, they did. They actually had New Brown, or yeah,
Ah,
the Brown Ale
ah,
by Newcastle. Actually, they didn't have it on tap. You could
ah.
buy it in a bottle. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this with like some really dark barbecue sauce with the barbecue that I already have. I think I tried it with like some beef brisket, and I think I had some pulled pork with some baked beans and some coleslaw, and that Newcastle Brown Ale with that particular style of barbecue was
I
fucking
just
top
was like,
notch.
what?
So I don't know why people rag on it. I've just never figured out why there's such a
It's
vicious
because it's a
hatred
little
towards it.
thin.
Because
It's because
they're beer snobs. They want to. It's very subjective, like Dr. Dave says.
yeah. But if you look at Real Ale Craft Beer Guide, he's like the beer king, and even he said like, oh, this beer is like it's too thin. There's not enough flavoring in it. It's not hoppy enough. It's not strong enough. That's what when you guys see my beer reviews. If you guys see my beer reviews coming out every Monday through Friday, every single day.
I don't get the notifications. I haven't been receiving notifications on your video.
When you're on his channel, if you click the bell right beside the subscribe, that way you get the notifications.
Yeah,
Okay.
That will
Now-
be this.
I like the boatswain that he just opened up.
Oh, dude, Boatswain. I'm crazy about this Boatswain, man. Just Boatswain is so good. I feel like it's better than Racer 5. Racer 5 is an awesome beer, but I feel like this is so much better than a Racer 5. Just, oh man, it's like Racer 5 is like 7%, 75 IBU. This is like 7%, 80 IBU. And if you're not a hophead, this will be like 8 out of 10 when it comes to hop. If you're a hophead, maybe this will be like a 4 or 5 for you. I don't know. Just you will feel it a little bit. I'm trying to convert all my beer reviews to heat challenges, basically at this point, just to compensate for that a little bit. But Heavy Lift Vessel by Boatswain. This is a maritime beer that we got going on here. It's 7% ABV. It's an American strong ale. It's 80 IBU. And I think they have some factoids on here. They got the original gravity, 17.35. The appearance, dark brown. Dark brown. It's not really dark brown. I feel like it's more like a red ale.
Yeah, I agree.
This is more like a red ale. Oh yeah, James. Yeah, James. Thanks for noticing that, man. Carbonation up to A. Some people on their beer reviews though, like Real Ale Craft Beer Guy, he says slightly hazy. I don't know what that means. I feel like either it's hazy or it's not hazy. I love the guy. I love the guy.
You're right. It's got a little hazy to it. It's not super filtered, but filtered just enough for the nice appearance.
I don't think it's hazy, man. I think it's just filtered with a nice, I think it's just. I don't think it's hazy. I think it's just unfiltered. I don't.
Well, I
think
mean, it's in that nice sweet spot. It's not completely unfiltered, but it's not super filtered. I mean, they filtered it just enough to give it that nice appearance, but it's not super filtered to where it's super hazy and you get all that. But yeah, anyway, continue.
No, yeah. I was listening to you. I was just trying to find my phone and my stove went off. But anyway, here's a look at it. Looks kind of like a hazy red ale, which is pretty genius. And I know you guys have seen me review this beer on your guys' channels like 3 times, but I go crazy about this beer. Every time I see it, I'm out of this beer. This is the last beer. I got to go back to Trader Joe's, and I got to go buy another 6-pack of these. This is freaking awesome. And here's the definition of Boatswain. It says, Boatswain, bosun. Beers are unique brews made in small batches. And, well, I like big batches personally, big batches of everything. But then our ale has aromas and flavors of sweet roasted malt balanced with moderate bitterness coming from the high level hop. Guys, this is a hoppy beer. I feel like this is my tell. This is my tell if I stand up. I feel like even when it comes to the hop intensity of this beer, if you're not used to it, this is going to be like a 7 or an 8 for you. Just you will not be able to handle this beer just right off the bat. Just you will have to process this beer. It's taken me a couple of years to do this, and when it comes to hot peppers, I did Satan's Blood, which is not really hot sauce, but that's an additive. First time I did that additive, that was like maybe an 11 out of 10. But then the next time I did it, maybe it was like a 6 out of 10. So when it comes to bittering units, I think that if you are not used to it, if you're not somebody who does marijuana or something like that, just this will be like an 8 for you. I think it'll be like an 8 for you. It'll be like the liquid form of marijuana, and for that reason, I'm giving it pretty much like a 12 out of 10. I think it's an A+. I think it's a world-class beer. I will always drink this beer, no matter what. So if I run out of whiskey, and the next best thing, I will be sipping on this beer.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is you got plenty of beer, but I noticed on that counter of yours you have a unopened bottle of wine.
I got. Check this out, guys. So I got a nice wine here. You see that?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Is that Yellowtail?
It's a Real 2017 edition. So James, you talked about bringing back some wine. That's going to be my wine. I think it's actually going to be more than wine for myself. But maybe...
Well, branch out. Do some wine, do some whiskey or liquor reviews. I mean, yeah, beer's fun, but branch out, explore.
Beer, listen, man. I like beer, I like whiskey, and I also like some good wine. But then I also have on my counter here some really good stuff for you guys. I have some nice Red Rose hot sauce.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that taco sauce I got from Trader Joe's? I can't wait to try that.
Wait, what was that? Was that this one?
No, it had a Mexican. It had a skeleton with a sombrero on its head. It was hot and
Oh, I
spicy.
didn't see that one.
Yeah, hot and spicy taco sauce, Trader Joe brand.
But if you like that one, then try this one, man. Sur La Table just closed, but unfortunately, I think they're closing down all their locations. So if you are a Sur La Table fan, I think that Sur La Table just permanently closed all their locations, no matter where you're from, and that's bullshit. I personally, but I got this from Sur La Table in January. This is a fine ass bottle. This is black garlic Carolina Reaper sauce.
Oh wow!
Ooh, Carolina Reaper. Ooh.
This one kicked my ass. When I had this was like I don't know, like maybe like a 13 out of 10. It's just it was like, now it would be like maybe like an 8 out of 10, but it's like a 13 out of 10 for me the first time.
Oh wow! Damien, give me a full screen. I want to show you this.
I've had that. I think I've had that. Gary, show this one, man.
Yeah, he's on solo.
Oh, that one's good.
Chocolate fiery, tangy blend of spices. It's got the guy with the mustache, you know, and this looks really good. Let me see what we got. Let me see what we got here as far as ingredients go. Organic distilled white vinegar, tomato paste, organic spices, red jalapeno puree, jalapeno peppers, organic distilled white vinegar, again, salt or soybean oil, blah 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 blah. All right, so it's red jalapenos is what they're using for this sauce. So I give it a shot. I mean, I like the label, so
let's see it. Let's do a heat challenge, man.
I make a lot of. I like the Trader Joe's corn tortillas. They're very thick and tasty compared to the supermarket ones. And I do a lot of quesadillas, and I get the Trader Joe's Mexican style shredded cheese. It's a combination.
Right. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, Monterey Jack. Yeah, you might as well put us back. Monterey Jack. What the hell? Yeah, there's three kinds of cheeses, and well, any real. I've never met a real cheese that I didn't like. I like them all. Yeah, you should have put us back to the other thing.
What do you think about this one, James? What do you think about this?
Oh, what was that? What was that titled? I seen that bottle. What is it called?
I think you are referring to. This one is actually
because I can't see it because
this one is black. This one is black garlic Carolina Reaper hot sauce.
Oh wow!
By Bravado Spice Company. Oh yeah.
Carolina Reaper high. So you have to put like a couple drops of that on a taco.
But
yeah.
But now I feel like that would be like a 4 for me when it comes to heat. Somebody who's not used to it, that will be like, let me tell you right now, that'll be way above a 4. Honestly, easily, that'll be way above a 4. But then also this habanero hot sauce by Trader Joe's, that one's my favorite. Honestly, I don't like the Bravado Spice Company as much as I like Trader Joe's habanero.
I still have more of the Trader Joe's habanero hot sauce, and
what do you think about that?
I love it. It's definitely It's definitely has a wonderful flavor. It's not too salty. It's really
no,
hot.
it's intensely flavorful. Just oh man.
Yeah, it has a great flavor, and it has high Scoville unit power that you can taste that it's really hot, but it doesn't overpower the flavor of the food. Like Carolina Reaper, you have to be careful with Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, but James, you know what I feel like you could do, James? I feel like you could do, if you were going to do a heat challenge, you could maybe do, I think, maybe 1,000,000 Scoville units. I think you could do like 1,000,000 Scoville units.
If I want to commit suicide, you mean?
No. If you want to have maybe like a time and you are getting delusioned for a second, but then you know that you're going to come back 5 seconds later.
You know what I used to do in the Irish pub with these wise guys. That guy had too much to drink, and they wanted to have macho. They wanted to have Macho Man contest. I said, let's do a shot. Let's do a shot of Tabasco sauce, one full shot, and see if you can handle it. And I was the only one. I mean, it got to me though. I suffered, but I did it, and they couldn't do it. And just a Tabasco, but a shot. But
if you guys want to do a hot sauce challenge, if you guys want to do a hot sauce, if you guys want to do hot sauce, what's that? Like a hot sauce shot, I'll do that for you guys.
Not Carolina Reaper. If you want to,
I'm out of that. But
if you want the Grim Reaper to come visit you, then do the Carolina Reaper. I wouldn't do more than a couple of drops of that.
I love Carolina Reaper. I love Carolina Reaper. It's good. It's just the highest I've gone, guys. It's like 800,000 Scoville. That's the highest I've gone so far. But that was a hot sauce. That was not a pepper yet. So I feel like anything that's a hot sauce that isn't a pepper, it's kind of like mocking it a little bit, but it isn't the whole thing. So if you have jalapeno hot sauce, you're going to get like a slight ting. But if you eat a whole jalapeno, if you just eat jalapenos by themselves, you're going to feel like that's already a habanero.
I used to grow habaneros in my garden back at the house. I used to grow them, and they look like Scotch bonnets. They're round, like a little orange pumpkin. They're round. They're not long. They're like a little pumpkin. And I couldn't put more than 3 fresh habaneros in my 6 quarts of chili. When I made homemade chili, I could only use like 3 fresh habaneros, vine ripened right off the plant, because they were powerful. Like if I vine ripened them, and with the seeds and everything, forget about it.
A habanero is fucking glory. If I could eat a habanero.
I mean, if you grew Carolina Reapers, like I noticed one thing. Out of all the herbs and veggies that I grew, nothing gave me a bigger production than peppers, the pepper family. And if you grew Carolina Reapers, I bet one Carolina Reaper would take care of 6 quarts of chili.
Oh yeah, Carolina Reaper is bad enough by itself, but just wait until you deal with the Carolina Reaper extract. Oh man, you're dealing with serious stuff when it comes to pepper extract.
Well, that's capsaicin. That's pure capsaicin almost. That's mace. That's pepper spray. Mace.
Well, some people, when it comes to pepper spray, I mean, it is a viable alternative if you don't really want to shoot to kill and just want something to either stun or maim someone with. But some people, pepper spray just isn't going to cut it.
I want to do that with some of the motherfuckers in my area.
Depends on what kind of drugs they're on and how much of it. I guess.
Yeah, sometimes you got to have the good old reliable firepower of a good old lead round.
Now,
I want to make some I want to fucking throw a can of mace at motherfuckers in some of my area, thinking that they can fucking get away with everything, motherfuckers.
you know,
Yeah, give those little yuppies a little taste of pepper spray. I don't think it'll be a yuppie anymore.
you know what
Man.
G. Gordon Liddy had a radio show. You know what he recommended? He says,
What do you recommend?
you want to mess somebody up? Forget about mace, pepper mace. Get a can of Hornet spray that has that 30-foot stream. It can come down in a fine stream. And he says, just, if the ladies have some freakazoid approaching them, make sure you roll the window down before you spray the damn stuff. But you can nail them right in the mouth and the eyes with that Hornet spray.
What about those nasty ass, like dog owning motherfuckers who feel like they can just walk up to anybody and accost people and not abide by leash laws or social distancing? Like, what do you deal with that shit?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm starting to see people.
What the fuck is that shit, homie?
I got a lot. There's a lot of rich yuppies around here, and I'm starting to see a lot of people with their dogs outside with no leash, and they're walking. And some of these dogs are big, I mean.
Or maybe they're small, but they're annoying,
Well, these dogs look like they can hurt somebody else's medium-sized or small dog. That might be on a leash. Like if somebody else's dog is on a leash, this dog is not on a leash, and it's big. And what if it goes for somebody else's smaller dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I guess you can put. If you went to a toy store or a dollar store and you got a water pistol and you filled it with Carolina Reaper's hot sauce, I guess you can squirt Carolina Reaper right in the dog's mouth and eyes. Mm-hmm. If he's not on a leash and he's bothering you, give him a shot, and then again you can squirt it and then you can squirt it in the owner.
Shut the fuck up.
You can squirt it in the yuppie's mouth and eyes too. Beep 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 beep. Hey, buddy, you ever have Carolina Reaper? Pow pow.
Oh man, but honestly, even regular hot sauce. Honestly, even I think regular pepper spray is like 200 or 300,000 Scoville. I think they set it like that. I think they intentionally make it like a hot pepper so that people, when they come across that, because they've been acting bad, just they never want to.
Well, cops won't. Cops can't really, by law, they can't really say anything about hot sauce in a toy water pistol.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's hot sauce. They sell in stores, But if you have a mace and what do you got there? Oh, you got pepper mace that only the cops are allowed to have. Oh, you sprayed the dog and the owner with this. Then you got to listen. Yeah, you got to listen to shit.
Fuck you.
I mean, that's why I like Tennessee, is we have a variety of different options when it comes to things like this, and they're very relaxed and lenient about when it comes to dealing with situations like this.
Enlightened people.
I'm sorry, what?
Good. Enlightened people who actually think before they just go ahead.
Well, that's one thing I do like about Tennessee is, at least here in my neighborhood, we do have some stray cats that are kind of like the communion or the neighborhood cats, and there's a couple dogs that are like that too. But then, yet, when you have a whole neighborhood full of pet lovers and just animal lovers in general, it changes the general context of things like that because there's dogs that live like right across the street from me, like parallel and perpendicular to me. So we are around dogs a lot of times, and
okay, back up.
if one of them were to break loose, it'd be like, oh, that's what's his face's dog, or oh, that's what's her face's cat. So if they happen to break free or do something, we can just return it to our rightful owner. That's kind of a nice thing of living in a small community and a tight knit neighborhood or community. So there are some pros to that.
It's not my job to tell somebody else's dog they're fucking off leash and they're fucking accosting other people and accosting other people's dogs and fucking
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes animals they get off the leash, and sometimes the sometimes the dog or the cat gets out of their designated confined area. I mean, it happens. If you think an animal is going to stay in their confined area 100% of the time, you clearly don't understand animal nature.
Yeah, but why do they act so? No, cross that. It's not them. It's the owner. Why is the owner acting so stupid and fucking bothering people all the time?
Right. Well, there's only so much that an owner of an animal can do. I mean, yeah, they can keep them on a leash, they can keep them within a confined area, but there's a point to where, the owner of the animal stops and the animal accountability and responsibility begins. So there's a point where you have to kind of train your animal or your pet as to, what is acceptable and what isn't. So, I mean, my particular family, we're cat people. We like cats.
Okay,
So, I mean, my wife likes dogs. I like dogs to a point.
Dogs always fuck with people. Dogs always start shit with people. Cats never start shit with people.
Well, there's a dog that likes to sit right on the porch. Well, there's a dog, and it likes to think it's the biggest, baddest little thing ever, even though it's a little, like, chunky, fat chihuahua. But still, that's just how animals operate, especially dogs and cats operate. Now, I mean, if one of the neighbor's dogs or cats shows up in our yard for just whatever reason, I'm not really going to complain because, like I said, me and the rest of my family, we're animal people, all right? So if we see a cat or a dog, we'll greet it, we'll pet it, and try to find out who it belongs to so we can return it to its rightful owner. But I mean, if it just comes in our yard and doesn't cause any damage, we're not really going to complain. But like I could say, if
what if it
one of the well, I could say if we have a garden that comes in and it fucks our shit up in our garden or this or that, yeah, we'll have a complaint. But just because it shows up in our yard and we know who it belongs to, we're going to return it to who it belongs to.
No, yeah, that makes sense. But what if somebody's dog is just fucking trying to paw at you and just kind of trying to come at you, and you're fucking minding your own business, being in your personal space, and just the owner's not doing anything about it? Just what are you This has happened like fucking, I don't know how many times this has happened in my area, and I feel like it's happened so many times that maybe other people are starting to report on it too, because they somebody fucking sniffing up on other customers at an establishment who have to sit outside because they can't sit inside.
Well, when it comes to aggression to different animals like that, I mean, part of it is the animal's responsibility, but also part of its owner is responsible as well. So, when it comes to aggressive behavior like that, when it comes to dogs,
it's like every dog.
Well, it's something you kind of have to get out of their behavior.
Yeah, there's not a single dog that's not being like that in my area. All of them are aggressive. All of them are starting shit. And I think that, honestly, it's I think that is a reflection on the owner.
It is, but you also have to understand the nature of dogs as well. Well, dogs and dogs and wolves share a lot of characteristics. Like, look at say if we turned all domestic dog breeds into the wild and let them go free and kind of domesticate themselves back around their predecessor, the wolves,
work.
we'll notice there's only really one difference that separates a dog from a wolf, and that is their interaction between human beings and other animals. See, dogs are.
Kevin, hold on a second. I know what you're saying, but hold on a second. It's just
all right.
From human beings is that they don't like to be approached. Dogs like, and a lot of human beings, unfortunately, already, dog or no dog, they like to approach the shit out of other people, even though they don't really have the neurophysiological appropriateness to do it. So
right.
Their dog does it. That's kind of like a double threat. So already I'm dealing with this weird fucker, and then his dog's coming up on me. And it's just, I don't know how to fucking handle it, because I think like already this guy's got weak anime about him, very weak, and then its fucking pet comes out of nowhere and it's being high. Like I dealt with that at like 6 in the morning this morning, man. Like somebody's dog was trying to somebody fucking cross the street, even though they could have stayed on their side of the street. And
oh, believe me, if it was 6 in the morning here, I'd be sound asleep, making some serious Z's. I wouldn't be paying the slightest bit of attention.
Yeah, but their dog was trying to fucking paw at me and shit. And once again, as every single example goes, it's always a dog that tends to have a very bad reputation. Like whether it's a collie or whether it's a fucking I don't know, like what's that small dog? People who tend to rat on this small.
Oh, a Chihuahua.
Yeah. A collie or a Chihuahua. They're always like coming up, even though it's like I already know. Your reputation not that good. I don't want you around me. Just fuck no, man. And if I'm drunk, forget it. Forget it. Maybe if I'm a little tipsy, I might know how to situation. But if I'm a little bit wasted, just fucking and I'm sitting outside because I can't sit inside because it's fucking virus and it's fucking virus going on. Well, maybe inside would be better with the virus, but I think they should suspend the virus shit with all the virus going on. But that's my humble
right. Well, that's what it comes down to when it comes to dogs. That's what I was trying to explain.
Intruding on other people's personal space and other people thinking that it's an intrusion on their personal space, even though the dog thinks that it's some extroverted, gregarious, regular approach. It's basically what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to dogs and wolves, we as human beings domesticated dogs. Well, we tried to domesticate wolves at a certain point in our history, but domesticating wolves only lasted for so long. But when it came to domesticating dogs, that was a bit more of a success. But as I was explaining, if we turned all domestic dogs wild, to go back to their roots, go back to their ancestors, i.e. the wolf, you will find that really the only difference between a dog and a wolf is how they interact with humans. In the wild, wolves are very shy creatures that tend to remain to themselves. Now, there are wolves that have been breeded in captivity to be more accustomed to human interaction and being more accepting of human beings and also other animals. Those are in wolf sanctuaries. So when you compare a wolf in the wild to the wolf in a wolf sanctuary, there's going to be a stark contrast when it comes to that. And it kind of goes the same way. Like, let's say, if we turn, like, let's say, I'm trying to think of a good dog breed for an example. I could say we turn a golden retriever or a chocolate lab or a black lab to the wild and see how they would interact with their ancestors, the wolf. You'll find that there will be a lot of similarities in terms of how they communicate, how they interact with each other, and all that. But the biggest difference you'll find is when it came down to how they interact with humans. See, the wolves will not have human contact because they'll be wild, whereas the dog, which has human contact, would be wild, but only to a point. That's really what separates dogs from wolves is human interaction.
Right. No, you got me there. I feel like maybe this whole humankind existence experiment is just to see who can have the biggest orgy with one another. And
Exactly, but there's only one breed of animal. There's only one breed of animal that chose to domesticate itself with humans, and that is cats. See, they chose voluntarily to domesticate themselves with human beings.
Cats are like
and do what?
Cats are like women. So
Yeah, well, cats voluntarily decided to domesticate themselves with humans. Now, the original cats that domesticated themselves with humans are not going to be the same as the modern day domestic cat. See, when cats first domesticated themselves with human beings, the meow and the pitch of it was so high pitched and so soft that actually other human beings could not really detect that they were trying to communicate and interact with us. So over time, cats lowered their meow and lowered the pitch of their meow so it was within the human range, so that way human beings and cats could understand each other. So, but still, that was the first breed of animal to ever voluntarily domesticate themselves with human beings. Now, what do cats and human beings have in common? Well, that's a very big question people still ask to this day. And surprisingly, cats and human beings actually have a lot in common. We're both independent creatures. We try to perceive ourselves at the top of the food chain. And lastly, we don't care to interact and domesticate ourselves with other types of animals, but still, if need be,
I guess it doesn't matter.
there's a difference between a wild cat and a domesticated cat. See, a wild cat is going to be completely feral and can only be domesticated to a point. But if you find a cat that's been domesticated around other animals and also other human beings, they're going to be very different. But you turn that cat into the wild, they're going to be just like bobcats, panthers, tigers, their ancestors of which they came from. They're going to be very similar, but yet so far apart, if that makes sense.
Well, a feral cat, back in the 1980s, when I adopted 2 cats from the shelter, well, one cat, it was an orange tabby. I named it Samantha. And unbelievably wonderful cat. I mean, she followed me everywhere in the house. It was like, she was like my shadow, you know, very affectionate, very friendly, not stuck up or aloof at all. And there was another cat that we adopted mistakenly. I named her Sabrina, but she was found as a feral kitten. And Sabrina had wild tendencies that she never grew out of. And she was ornery, and she could not be totally domesticated 100% like the orange tabby, Samantha. Just wouldn't happen, because she spent the first early part of her life as a feral. So they revert to a certain extent to the wild state to survive, I guess, like a bobcat or a lynx, or one of those African. Well, there's one in South America, and there's some in Africa. They have their own version of a bobcat, but they're tropical. So I guess that's the closest relative to a domesticated cat. You know, when you get a close-up video or photograph of them, they have domesticated cat features. But according to evolution, they claim that both canine and feline originally come from this prehistoric creature that looked just like a ferret. Now, a ferret, badgers, so far, you know, so on and so forth, wolverines, minks, or whatever, weasels. I don't know what classification they're in, whether or not they're in their own class. I don't know if they're considered a canine, a feline, or neither. But I used to have an interest in the ferrets because you know, it's related to a wolverine, and I think they're very cool animals. A honey badger, a wolverine are the toughest nails. I mean, nothing messes with them in the wild. They really don't have any enemies that would mess with them. But then I found out through research, which I wish a lot of people did before they got a pet, but they don't. I found out that ferrets are social animals that need to be around another ferret. You know, like having a monkey for a pet. Like when I was in grammar school, you can go to a pet shop, and for $40 you can get a squirrel monkey with cage. No exaggeration. For $40, a squirrel monkey from South America with cage. But primates have to be with other primates, otherwise they get a little wacky, or maybe a lot wacky. So I decided, you know, unless I get the facts straight, don't get a ferret, because a ferret cannot be solitary, whereas a cat can be perfectly happy with its adopted family all by its lonesome. You know, it doesn't.
Right. Gotta go pee. Be right back.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be with other animals.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I just feel like I feel like dogs always need some sense of approval, and they always need some sense of approval and attention, and they can never get enough. And after a point, owners should say, "Oh yeah, that's just him being him." You know, fuck that, man. It's just he's being him because you let you allow what's bothering you when it comes to whatever situation's going on.
are we talking about the female humanoid Homo sapien females?
Maybe just Homo erotis.
Let me tell you something. I learned the hard way. I don't know if it's because of the younger generation female, as in millennial females or younger, but I have learned, let's say millennial females, I have learned that unfortunately, and it's pretty sad, that they are able to look you straight in the eye and smile constantly with a smile at you, and flirt with you and lie right to your face, lie over and over and over again. And
I don't do that. That's why I don't do that shit anymore.
I mean,
at one point, but otherwise, that's why
I mean, they'll say things like, "Oh, give me a business card. We'll get together. We'll go out. Yeah, we'll go out. Yeah, we'll go out." And then they don't text you. They don't call you. Nothing. They don't email you. you don't hear from them, and then you see them.
Maybe like months later, and then you're like, wait, what? Who are you?
No, they keep on being friendly every time you run into them. They keep on being friendly. Well, they obviously lied to you because they said we're going to get together and hang out, and it never happens. But they continue to be friendly. I don't know what's the best psychology for a man to say. So I've known you for a little while now. When are we going to hang out?
No.
Don't
What I say about that is no. If you've known a girl for too long, nothing's happened. It's just no.
just avoid them. Just like no. Like say, hey, yo, what's going on? Hey, we known each other for a while. Hey, we haven't been together yet.
No, fucking no.
And don't call them toots, right? Hey, toots.
I keep forgetting to say that. I keep forgetting to not say that. I say that.
Toots. Hey, toots. You said we were gonna go to bed. I mean, have a date. You said we. So anyway, lying is not something I was brought up to do. I was brought up.
So why does anybody else do it? So then, if anybody else does it, then what's the point of you not doing it?
Like I feel that it's being dishonest and insincere is like one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor, which I think means don't be a two-faced phony to other people. I think that's what it means. I see
that even in people's body. I see that even like when I'm in a rich, stuck-up neighborhood on my commute. I see that even on those people. It's just they are stuck up. They're phony. But then as soon as I'm in the Tenderloin neighborhood, it's not the richest neighborhood ever. But as soon as I'm in the Tenderloin neighborhood of San Francisco, I relax. Automatically at ease because I know around people who have dealt with things that I've dealt with before.
Now you know what's weird to talk about a Twilight Zone episode.
Well, like why do rich people think that they never deal with anything?
No, you know what's funny?
With less rich people, but they're actually cool. So.
In my hometown is a lower middle class. I wouldn't say blue collar. I would say a mix of blue collar and lower middle class.
My kind of town.
Right now, the people in my town, if they're walking the dog or they're walking by my house and I say hi, how are you? A lot of them would say nothing, or they'll just look. They'll look up real fast and go, They'll give me a grunt like, But over here, with all the yuppies that have expensive cars, Mercedes and Audis and BMWs and whatever, and Ferraris in their parking lot, they walk and they smile and say hi, how are you? They talk to you. They say hi. Okay. The only thing is when they drive, they're so in a hurry. If they make a turn, it's like they want to run you over. Like everybody's in a hurry because it's right across from New York City, and for some reason these jackasses are all in a hurry.
I think that what's going on there's something going on there. It's like this need to be financially and wealthily and socially susceptible to every other class of people that ever walk the face of the earth. But, when it comes to that, is that what I want to say? Actually, when it comes to daytime scenarios that I've dealt with, usually the best ones have been in the neighborhoods that have not been as wealthy. When I've been in the neighborhoods that are as wealthy, I feel totally threatened. I feel totally uncomfortable. And it's happened before, actually. just physically. So cops telling me, hey, you got to go, whatever. So I feel like that's actually happened to me before because I was in a certain neighborhood where uh, things weren't going well. But then I pay attention to just everything going on around me, and I think about, okay, this is a rich neighborhood, or this is a rich area. So then obviously a lot of people do not want somebody practicing the First Amendment and expressing themselves when they are in this area. Maybe somebody made somebody else feel harmed. I don't know, but just the harm principle. The harm principle. If you're not bothering anybody, then nobody should stop you whatsoever. Um,
How
I,
are
I,
how are San Franciscans? Are they like neurotic and in a hurry, or are they like laid back and
it depends on where you're at. So if you are more like kind of like the Tenderloin, Nopa kind of area, people, even Tenderloin, which is an area that struggles a little bit. Still, people are pretty chill in that area. You know, some people may piss me off in that area, but it's just a lot of people. I'm just when I'm in that area, I feel a solace. So even though it's a very struggling area, it's kind of like a transitioning neighborhood. Uh, when finally, when I'm commuting and I walk up Market Street, when I get toward there, I'm just like, finally, I can be around some normal people who are dealing with everyday normal things. I don't have to deal with just slutty, just whorish, soup bullshit for one second.
you see when I'm out and about, I like to stroll. I'm not in a hurry ever. I take my sweet ass time. I smell the roses and the coffee,
Me
and I,
too.
I, I read bottles. I check out I check out products. I say, oh, look at this. I never seen this before. Let me look. Let me see
That's
what.
not that's not really possible. I mean, you can try to make everything you can out of that in a nice, rich, wealthy, luxurious area. But that's not really possible because the second that you do stuff like that, the second that you do shit like that, everybody else is all up in your grill. And if somebody who is of less wealth and somebody who's suffering notices what you're doing, they're going to be all up in your grill. Way much worse than somebody who's in a poor neighborhood where people may be struggling and maybe somebody accidentally hits you while you're walking past them, but then you look at them and they look up at you and you wave at them. Nothing happens. Just if you're in a poor neighborhood, nobody's gonna give you shit. Nobody's gonna fuck with you. Nobody's people largely, maybe some people, but beyond that, just people just mind their own business, man. And it's actually what you were hoping for all along. Is that people would just go about their daily lives and go about their daily approaches when it comes to places that are stuck up, like financial districts and shit like that. Oh man, I can't stand it. I can't handle it. I gotta get out of there. I guess kind of like what he says in The Dark Knight.
That's the yuppie. That's the yuppie part of San.
These people don't scare me. So
That's the yuppie part of San Francisco, the financial district, right?
yeah. So compared to those people, or compared to these people, those people don't scare me. So the the people from maybe poorer neighborhoods, they don't scare me. In fact, I've had a lot of good conversations with them in the past. But the people from the yuppie neighborhoods and from everybody judging everybody and everybody always being on their high horse and everything like that. And I mean, I've had that happen in the Tenderloin, had it happen today, but still, maybe it wasn't the one found it, but I did not react in any sort of way. I was just like, all right, man, whatever helps you sleep at night. But if that happened in the financial district, I would be, I don't know, best wishes to everybody. But I feel like the richer areas of the city are where the people are the worst in their character, whereas the people who they may not have a lot of money, but they are richer in spirit. They are richer in spirit. So and that's what, it's just having conversations with people in the San Francisco Tenderloin. It's just multiple times over. You know, one girl who I met one time. You know, nothing happened, and that's all right. That's okay. But you know, when we talked, just I felt like butterflies, and I feel like she felt like butterflies, and just fuck. Just there was no judgment, and that almost never happens. In the more wealthy section. So I go to two neighborhoods to try to meet girls. This one neighborhood that's a little bit wealthy, but it's still kind of poor looking on the streets. I always go to the poor places. Why? Because I always feel like those people are just more richer in spirit. And honestly, I would be with those people every single step of the day, no matter what this way is. I would not be with these fucking rich ass motherfuckers who feel like they have everything figured out. I would not want to wish a dime on me or anybody.
Well,
Damien,
when you hear rich people have a conversation, they don't
end it.
They don't talk about subjects that are important to humanity and to the world or to the country. They talk about
don't stand for anything. You can't stand it, right?
No, they talk about how much their next Mercedes is going to cost them. You know what their next car is going to be.
I'm a people person, man, and I don't feel like, even though I get reactive about some people, even though I've gotten reactive toward you or toward Damien or toward anybody, I like to be around, and I'm a little bit tipsy right now, so I feel like I'm sounding like a freaking idiot right now. But it's just I like to be around other people. I like to be around normal people, people who like you, I feel, James, who are just going about their daily lives, not trying to show up on the first person who they come across and some fucking gala. Who fucking cares, man?
Now, before I forget, when you went live on Facebook, did you see where you could actually download on that show and then you can put it on YouTube?
I didn't. I mean, I see that sometimes, but other times I'm like, where the hell is that button? And that happens to me a lot.
You gotta go in the upper right-hand corner, and then you gotta go to the right of the upper right-hand corner of your Facebook show video, and
Right.
you're going to see little dots vertical. And there's a drop down. It's a drop down menu, and
Right.
you click on that, and it drops down, and then you see the word download.
All right.
You click on that, and then it downloads it. It saves to your tablet. Now you can put it on your YouTube channel.
That's a good idea. James, what do you think about like poor neighborhoods versus rich neighborhoods? I feel like the poor neighborhoods are actually
Okay.
all the things.
I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you a story. My sister, before she got a high-paying job, she worked. You know, one of her first jobs was like a warehouse that sold discount clothing. You know, for women mostly. She had a coworker that lived in a poor neighborhood. It wasn't really crime ridden per se. It was a poor neighborhood. Anyway, these people, she was invited over their house for dinner. And, you know, they had a large family. They lived in a house. And she said, even though these people didn't have a lot of money, they had so much closeness and love in the family. They were so close. She was very impressed, very touched.
Who cares? Yeah.
By that whole thing, because they were rich in having a loving, tight-knit family.
Yeah, I'd rather hang out with a couple of people who are rich in spirit than people who have all these cars and these nice glass ceilings and who ghost everybody the second chance that they get. And yet there are those people, they're always in everybody else's face. And yet, at the same time, they act like they want all those people's attention. So it's like an incredibly it's just an incredible game that you have to walk with those people.
Well, you know the Koreans. There's a lot of Koreans in my region, and they all have big butts. Now
Ignore them, dude.
The Japanese have big bucks too, but there's mostly Koreans.
Just ignore them, man.
Now you know that I was told that they in their culture they're not taught to show love and affection to their wives, their children. Like nobody shows love towards anybody. Everybody's like a robot, like an android. Everything is a career, education, make money. You know, that's the whole thing. Though I says that's pretty sad. If that's how the Asian cultures are, that's sad, man.
Yeah.
I says, so that means the men are not romantic with their women. They go, no way. Asian men are not romantic with their girlfriends and wives.
You don't have to be Asian to be in America to be like that, because a lot of people in America.
Yeah, but an American woman wouldn't, if she feels neglected, she's not going to put up with that. You know, in a relationship, she's not going to stand for that crap.
Exactly, but you know, based on what you two have said, you probably made the best case for socialism when it comes to not only the way humans interact physically, but how humans interact emotionally as well. So keep going with what you're saying.
No, that's the whole story. It's like getting back to the family from the poor neighborhood that my sister said was so close, but they didn't make much money. I mean, when one of them's in trouble, the whole family comes to their rescue. But they're not rich, but you know, they're rich in.
How many rich families do you know who would say that to somebody? That they would actually dodge in front of a bullet for somebody else?
Oh, that's not going to happen. But I'm saying, like, if you're in a
how many rich people do you know who would actually be like that for somebody else?
Let's say you went Let's say you come from a rich family and you went bankrupt. You went belly up. I mean, really belly up. I mean, how many rich siblings, aunts and uncles, or whatever? I mean, they might come to your rescue. You know, maybe Jeff Bezos, if he has kids, maybe he'll come to the kid's rescue in a nanosecond. But I don't know. You know, it depends how they're raised. If they're like sociopaths and they don't have any feelings of, they don't have any compassion or empathy for other people, they might not. You know, it's or if they do, if they come to your rescue, you'll never hear the end of it. They might throw it up to your face your whole life. You know, but a socialism, there's one thing about a socialist society. You have a lot of pressure taken off your shoulders, because now you don't have to worry about education tuition. You don't have to worry about health care, cleaning out your life savings. You don't have to worry about competing with the Joneses. You don't have to worry about having a respectable, decent retirement when you get older. You have a kid, you got paternity and maternity leave. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? It's like there's a lot of pressure.
Jelly Bean.
There's a lot of pressure off your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. And the further elaborate on what it is you're talking about. So there was this documentary that was released. I want to say it was in the past 5 years or so. So there was this South Korean national. She was born in South Korea, but she spent most of her life in Germany. But she was granted one of the rarest accesses into North Korea that a South Korean national and a journalist has ever been granted, probably to this point in history. And you would have thought, by her being a South Korean national, raised in Germany,
We're cat
Woo.
burglars.
yay, cat burglars, that honestly, the North would have treated her with such animosity and such hatred. But when they actually released the documentary and you watch it in its entirety, I can send it to the both of you here on YouTube, that they were very welcoming and very accepting in the North when it came to her being raised in the South and her actually being able to visit the roots of her culture. And they were very shocked that she was granted this rare access. I mean, she spoke very frequent Korean, and they understood each other. Now, granted, there were some language barriers because North Korean and South Korean is a very similar language, but also very different at the same time. And seeing how the two interacted together, you could see right off the bat that people in the North are actually way more accepting and way more willing to negotiate with the South to have peace agreements and unify under this one Korean culture, even though there would be extreme diversity. But that shows with that particular documentary that, despite what they want to portray in the light that the people in the North Koreans are, yeah, they might appear bitter and hostile at first, but when it comes to their own people,
Beside us.
that they're willing to accept their own kind and willing to accept diversity in the North as compared to the South. I mean, granted, the South took a very dramatic path as compared to the North, but you see they're more in touch with their Korean roots and more accepting as compared to people in the South. That's the main point I was getting at.
Well, I was told the people in the South are very materialistic, thanks to American right-wing capitalism that poisoned it, just like they poisoned Chairman Mao's China.
Oh yeah.
And I also found out that Japanese men that live and work around any major city in Japan, let's say Tokyo, are under a tremendous amount of stress in their lives. They're not really happy people. Their employers are very demanding. They work long hours. It's just, I mean, capitalism really sucks once it takes root in any culture.
Turn it off.
I mean, you gotta pay out of pocket for every fucking thing, and
Mhm.
Turn it off.
and most of your
Now.
what's going on here? Most of your
Right.
income is not surplus cash that you have to enjoy life. It's cash that goes towards living expenses. So it's really not a pleasant.
All right, guys. It's just my fucking neighbors. I just found out that my neighbors are fucking playing music at 11 o'clock. And I will fucking tell them, you do not fucking tell me how to do my shit on the terrace when I'm doing things at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And yet, here you are at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I walk out into the parking lot and you are fucking playing music like anything goes. I am not okay with this bullshit.
Exactly. This still reserves for you. This is your liquid courage.
That's disturbing the peace there, Michael Hilton. That's disturbing the peace. You could call the Flatfoot Flugies on them.
I'm so fucking tired of this, man. And these are,
I mean, if they were playing good music, I wouldn't complain. But if they're playing like absolute garbage, yeah, I would complain.
Yeah, but they're bitching to him when he does his show on the terrace earlier.
Yeah, exactly, James. They're bitching at me when I'm doing my show at like 8 o'clock, and I'm gonna finish up at a reasonable hour. And yet, days later, I feel like this happens every single time. Days later, I come out, I'm in the parking lot, and it's like, or I'm not even in the parking lot. I don't have to
Well, listen, if they're
for 11 o'clock at night, and I hear this bullshit.
if they're bitching at you at 6 or 7 p.m.
People just issued them an order a couple days ago about not accosting the contractors, and yet here they are playing music, fucking bombarding people with their music.
It's none of their damn business. If it's 6, 7 p.m. and you're on a terrace doing a show,
Stop trying to make friends. Make therapists.
you tell them mind your own damn business. You're not on a megaphone. You're not on a megaphone.
Shit.
Yeah, now hear this. Michael Hilton is now doing a live stream show on his terrace. Now here, you're not doing that. You're just talking.
No, I'm just talking to you guys and Eric and I think my buddy Matt.
I mean, that's what I've been telling you, Mike. Sell that apartment in California you got and get the hell over this way to the side of the United States.
I know, right? Just what made somebody think that they can launch a fucking volume complaint against me at 8 o'clock, even though I've now heard 4 or 5 times.
Wait a minute. A volume complaint
at 10 o'clock at night.
All you're doing
time now.
All you're doing is talking on your laptop. What do you mean volume complaint? You're just talking. It's early in the day. It's
like
not
for 8 o'clock at night. It's like,
not legal. It's not legally disturbing.
Listen, I know. I'm also trying to get a good sleep at night at 8 o'clock or 7, because I know that if I wake up the next night, not the next night, although that's happened too. But if I wake up the next morning, I'll fucking have a full day tomorrow. I'll fucking feel fucking good. But that does not mean that I can just complain about other people who are just being on their terrace at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, even though every time people notice something about me, I'm on my shit at like 10 or now, what is it, like 11 o'clock at night on Pacific time. And that's like 2 o'clock your guys' time. So people were doing that at your guys' time? Oh, shit, forget it. Just, to feel that they could just pull this fucking bullshit.
When it comes to morning people, I
contact HOA about this. I'm fucking had enough.
Mornings, forget about television. It's boring and lame as all hell. It's geared towards senior citizens and children, and women with very young kids.
By the way, outside, when I said to somebody like 3 times, you got to shut your shit off. Somebody, I think, started mouthing off at me when I was telling them they got to shut their shit off. So,
well, I tell you what.
I mean, I'm not a violent person.
Look, here's how much I've got left. I've got the swill left of this.
You know what you got to do?
That's nice.
You continue to do your shows.
I don't give a fuck. Honestly.
You continue to do your shows on the terrace.
Honestly,
I don't want to.
Because just people complaining about me, but then every single time they file a complaint, like days later, I'm hearing about them at like 10 o'clock or some shit like that, and they're going around doing that.
Courage. You need the liquid courage of steel. You'll be the man of steel with steel.
So, Mike, because of your liberal prissy neighbors, this swill goes to you.
That will fuck them up.
Now, listen.
They should not be around that shit.
You know what you need?
Liberals saying that they should be all around all this. Liberals always saying they should be all around that shit. And sometimes that works, but other times I'm like,
But their complaint, their volume complaint doesn't hold any water, because you're on the terrace at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m.
Yeah, no, and they're doing things at like 9, 10, whether it's the NCAA basketball game or somebody just wanted.
Well,
and just anywhere between 9 and 11 o'clock at night. This is like prime time, and I could hear that even with the door closed. I think so. This is just bullshit. I cannot believe that people go around treating people like this. And also, if I can say this one thing, it's just I do not believe that other people feel like they can accost other people with their dog or with their kid, just the American dream. Oh, the American dream. So I'm gonna put that in your face. I'm gonna have my dog sniff you. Or I'm gonna have your kid. I'm gonna have my kid run up in your face and do all these crazy, stupid things, and you're just gonna deal with it. No. I have my shit that I'm dealing with. You go ahead and deal with your. Stop trying to make friends. Make a therapist. I'm. Stop trying to make friends. Make a therapist. I'm tired.
Listen, you continue to do your shows because they don't have a leg to stand on with their
No,
volume
what I gotta
complaints.
do is call that management number. Sorry, I keep talking over you, James. Go ahead.
Now, how old were you when you left Chicago?
I was like 5. How old? That's a good question. How old was I when I left Chicago?
I mean, you're only a year older than I am, so it can't be too far back in the past.
Well, I still think about that though. I still think about Chicago and New York and all the good times that my mother and I had there. I think that when I was in Chicago last time, not visiting, but last time that I resided there, like if I could vote there if I was old enough. I think maybe I was like, I don't know, somebody said I was 10 years old.
Oh, you are old enough to vote. You're 27.
No, I wasn't 27. I was 10 years old when I was in.
Oh. So you went to let's see, kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah.
First grade would be 6 years old. Third grade, second grade, 7 years old. Eighth grade, third.
Guys, during this whole live show,
Third
I had one cop show up during my door and knock on my door and say, "Hey, you're being too loud." So it's just, I am a very powerful person. I can't just talk about where I work because my boss said that to me. Don't just talk about where you work. I'll say that I work for City Hall. That's what I'll say. And I work for City Hall in the city.
To be honest, I hate to say it, Mike.
I'm a very Damien, hold on, buddy. It's just I'm a very powerful person, and
what's this cop? This cop has.
I can't deal with this bullshit with people doing he said she said anymore. So it's just like this has gone on for so long now. So
what did this cop? What was the basis of this cop saying you're too loud? Keep the noise down.
He said I could hear you from the parking lot, even though it was still pretty early in the fucking day. Now, granted, I may have known him.
What the fuck kind of a place in the day? There's daylight and you can't.
Actually, no. Granted, it was after sunset, but it was still early, man. And I've heard neighbors at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or now tonight, 11 o'clock. Even though I just came back from the first full day of work that I've seen in a long time, I hear somebody playing their fucking Pat Metheny.
Well, I'm flabbergasted that you if there's still daylight out, you can't do a show on your terrace. I just can't accept
how they're trying to go to sleep, even though technically it's still daylight out.
Well, it's not your problem. They're old bags and old geezers. It's not your problem that they're ancient and they're ready for the friggin' boneyard.
There are two people across from where I live, and they have complained multiple times, and they are harassing me about my beer reviews. And
I got an itch in the middle of my forehead.
Tried to reach out to them. Oh yeah, I even tried to reach out to them multiple times, saying, "Oh man." Even during beer reviews, sometimes I said like, "Oh man, I smell something over there from my neighbors. That smells good." And then what they said back to me was, "You're too loud." I said,
"Really?"
Yeah, I said, "You're a good cook." And what they say back to my fucking face is, "You're too loud." Just,
yeah, I hate to say it at this point, Mike. You're better off just selling your apartment and just moving out this way. Get out of that liberal fascist cesspool known as California.
You know what you need? You need a Victorian walking stick like this one with a brass eagle to give them the old glory, the old red, white, and blue.
see plenty of. I would be like, yeah.
This eagle beak
Wanna
is
clap people?
grasping. Oh, you beak them in the head. You put a hole in her head. The people across the street. You got a problem? It's still daylight. I'm on the terrace. I can't talk in the daylight. You know, it's not disturbing the peace. You got a problem? You got and you hold it up. You got.
It was still after. It was after daylight, but it was still technically daytime because it was like 8 o'clock at nighttime. Even though I've heard people like 9 or 10 o'clock or now 11 o'clock at nighttime, so people would feel like they're trying to show up on me and act real hard. So
Let me tell you something, Michael Hilton. I would put a hole in that motherfucker's head. I would put a hole in his head so fast, you know, with my beak. Oh. No, I'm serious. These people need to get fucked up because if it's daylight, you have every right to go on your terrace and converse with others.
Yeah. So then why are they bitching? Even though I feel like every single time I go out on my terrace, and sometimes like the same time, I've heard somebody, even though I like my neighbor, a lady was talking.
I want to break their legs.
Like in a really loud ass way. People could hear her from the parking lot. Why does she not get the same legal reverberations as I would? That's
And you can use the top of the head of the beak to like break his nose. You can go like this. You can go whammo, bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple who showed up at a brewery. I was at a brewery earlier today, but there was this couple that showed up, and the father there was acting very irate and just would not leave the waitress alone. She was acting very irate, and I was about ready to tell this motherfucker how it's done. I was trying to contain it as much as possible, but I was about ready to tell this motherfucker how it's done. But anyway, he just kept on showing up on the waitress and the server and trying to tell her what's up. And he was so impatient. And every time he picked up his baby started crying. And I was like, stop picking up the baby. You're making the baby cry. So, oh, man.
The baby, no, that guy across the street from you making complete. He's the one I want to break his kneecaps, both of them.
With
right.
the dog that was.
Well, Mike, for you and your hardship, this swill's going to go out to you. So here we go. Swill,
right.
Swill.
Then,
here we go.
And then it's time for gaming.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to have a fun game.
Let's do some gaming.
Just give me a moment. Hang on. All right, Mike. So truly, Swill. Special guest appearance, Wyatt.
But you got glasses, Wyatt? I didn't know that.
How are you?
Yeah, from his real dad. His real dad has astigmatism, but I have astigmatism. Except my vision's still 20/20. His is not. But here we go. Swill. Here we go.
What?
Thomas.
Wyatt put on a
Here we go.
Wyatt put on a little beef.
Here we go. Last 42 is still reserved. 242 is still reserved. This goes out to you, Mikey. This is for you and your liquid courage. So, you know what?
Oh yeah,
forget California. Move out here to Tennessee.
I would live in Tennessee, but what I said to my neighbors was like, "Tired of this shit. You don't just get to tell me to get off my terrace and get the cops involved at like 8 or fucking 9 o'clock at night. Even though I hear you guys at like 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock at night every other fucking day. And it's not that. Even if it's during the daytime, fuck, I don't care. Just I hear you guys, and you guys are fucking being loud as shit, and you guys are talking shit, and you guys are belligerent. I'm fucking tired of this. It's fucking
that's one thing I miss about California. You know, California used to be a very laid back.
It's not anymore.
Extremely mellow place to live.
Not anymore.
Kind of like the way Tennessee is now.
When I think of California, I think of those old surfer movies I used to watch. You know, where Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello and a surfer, your Beach Bunny. That's it. The Beach Bunny movies.
And watch bonnets, James.
You know, the Beach Boys. You know, catch a wave and we're sitting on top of the world. You know, I mean, everybody's laid back and enjoying the sun.
Not it. I'm sorry, man.
What do you call the mamas and the papas? California dreaming, you know, and everything. And now you got a bunch of anal retentive pricks.
It's just like look at the way people fucking walk. That's
Pricks.
not it. I'm sorry.
Fidel. It is Damien. It is Fidel Owens. It is Fidel Owens. Okay, now
Oh, their beer review.
he's getting psyched. He's getting psyched, and I hope that his aim will be right on target, not impaired by the Steel Reserve.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will go ahead and admit now, 242s of this, I am really, really messed up. But you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's have some gaming, and let's fuck some shit up.
And you know what? I sent Eric Fraunfelter the link, and I bet he's on with a bunch of those fucking alcoholics.
He joined. I was going to add him when I finished my point that I was talking, but he left before I finished my point. So you know what? Oh well, screw him.
He's in a hurry. He's got no patience. He's a nervous wreck. You know,
it's the Massachusetts in him.
If you don't, yeah, ara, 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 like the Kennedys. Ara, ara. You know, there's a rock group called the Dead Kennedys.
I feel like I'm.
Ooh, the Dead Kennedys. My personal favorite songs by them is probably Uberales, California, Police Truck, and Holiday in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Holiday in Cambodia.
I love them.
You know, Cambodia's got a lot of landmines to this day from the Vietnam War.
Well, yes and no. See, that's kind of a weird history of Cambodia's history. See, before the Khmer Rouge took over in 1975, Cambodia was ruled by a monarchy that was actually U.S. backed. Well, Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge, they were this really right-wing fanatical group of communism, which was very inherently racist. So Pol Pot was educated in France in this weird branch of communism and socialism that was inherently racist. And that's why you had the killing fields in Cambodia, because it was a very right-wing form of socialism and communism. See, anybody who was an intellectual, intelligent, or not considered what would be defined as the Kampuchea form of the Cambodian was considered an enemy of the state and killed. Henceforth, while we had the killing fields, but where the U.S. drained so much of its resources in the Vietnam War, it was actually newly formed Communist Vietnam who went in and overthrew the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot in 1979. And Pol Pot was willing to face the UN and the military tribunal in 1996, 97. But when he fled Cambodia in 1979, the Khmer Rouge was basically left to fight themselves with newly formed Communist Vietnam. But here's what's very ironic. The Khmer Rouge was only 12 to 13-year-olds. So they were basically teenagers with AK-47s, RPD submachine guns, and anything Soviet Union or Maoist China grenade weaponry against everyone else. That's kind of why it was successful, but ultimately failed. But we'll get to that on a different date. But we'll play some Arma, because I finally figured out how to fly the drone. I got past that point. So now we're going to dabble into some other things besides that. So give me just 1 second.
All right. I don't know if I don't think Michael Hilton has seen you play Arma yet.
But
what you got there, Chief? Elosa, ginger, lemon. What kind of beer is it?
Oh, by the way, just so you all know, 242's a Steel Reserve is gone. So I'm now part of the Still Reserve 800 Club. So I've succeeded. Will I throw up? Time will tell.
Now, are you going to get a certificate from doing that?
Nice.
Probably not, but this is more or less like bragging rights. So on a scale from 1 to fucked up, I am probably on the scale from very fucked up.
Yeah.
But I don't feel sick to my stomach. I'm
They-
just very drunk and very hammered.
Oh, like I said,
They should send him a big cup like the Stanley Cup, like
Like
a
I said.
trophy, like a huge trophy. All right, Michael Hilton's statue. I'm going to call him the Shadow Man. You know, like the shadow people. The Shadow Man. That's your protector.
Oh yeah.
That's your protector. All right, what do you got there? Elosa, lemon, ginger.
Damien, if you could put me on full screen, that would be nice.
Yeah, let him knock off.
All right, give me 1 second. Arma is loading, so I gotta work between 2 monitors here. So let's see. All right, there you go, Chief. Lay it out.
Fuck y'all. No, I'm just kidding. This is Elosa hard kombucha. It's a ginger lemon kombucha. It is clocking in at 6.5% ABV. So it is a hard kombucha. So it's not one of those simple, juicy, sweet kombuchas that you come across in the liquor aisle of the overall grocery store when you are trying to be sober. No, this is one of those hard ass kombuchas that you could get. It is. It is a brown kombucha. It is a brown bottle. It's not a green or a blue bottle. It is a brown bottle. Let's see how this one's going. Not much on the bottle. Not much of a description. Using a pint glass.
I'll get the 3 out here.
Using a bit of a version of a pint glass.
It's light.
What?
It's light. It's like a light lemony, like a light green tea.
Yeah,
Appearance.
in here is easy.
Oh yeah, let me say. But actually, yeah, you're right. It looks lemony. Doesn't really look alcohol-like. From the aroma, no carbonation. It's hazy, but no some carbonation. Hazy, minimal carbonation. Let's get the aroma on this medium to low body ale. All right, so you are getting a lot of lemon. I feel like you're also getting some ginger on this because it's very spicy. So you're getting some ginger on this ale. This is not overly sweet. It's not overly floral. You're not getting an overly sweet beer. I think it's actually unfiltered because of the looks of it. So if you look at it, it looks like it's a little bit cloudy, and it looks like the hue doesn't give it away, but at least the cloudiness gives away some kind of unfiltered beer, unfiltered feel. By the way, guys, we are live with Damien Owens, and we are live at 2 hours 12. There it is. 2 hours 13 minutes. And now, so for those of you tuning in, we are doing Fandango Friday Uncensored with James Madonna, and we are going full throttle. And this is a look at Elosa. Honestly, I think the bitter units may be kind of like low on this one, especially because it's a kombucha. So I might not think that there's really much sourness or hoppiness to this. But anyway, let's get into this one, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. What's wrong? You're not crazy about it?
It's this one is floral. This one's really floral.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. Oh. It's not beer. Beer is a mixture of fruit and hops. It's a mixture of sweet and sour. I do not know how this could apply to a beer ever. I just do not know. Honestly, I'd rather just go with a regular kombucha. Because the regular kombucha is not going to have much as a ting. That's not a kick. It's a ting. That's a shame because a lot of these alcohol they rely on yeast and they rely on hops and they rely on malt. I don't feel any malt. I don't feel any hops. I don't feel yeast. Maybe some yeast, but that aroma. Even after a couple of sips, it's still there. But it's just if you're all beers like me, you get into this. Just the intensity of this. It's going to be like an 11 out of 10 for you. It's going to be an issue. For me, it's maybe the intensity of this is maybe like because I'm not used to this flavor. Maybe like a 7, but maybe if I'm used to the flavor a little bit.
All right, well, I'm gonna fix me something else to eat. I'll be back here in just a minute.
Yeah, put us on full grid. There we go. So you know, you could buy
Like a 4.
a 4 out of 10. That's
So
pretty.
overall final rating is like I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna.
You could buy a live
I'm gonna
kombucha
give it a 4 out of 10.
a 4 out of 10. That's pathetic. That's bad. You can buy a live kombucha mushroom on the internet, and all you have to do is either make black tea and put a lot of sugar in like a gallon pitcher, or you can buy a gallon of Arizona sweet tea, and you put the kombucha mushroom in it for about, I guess, a week, and it ferments. It converts the sugar, and it becomes real kombucha tea.
That would probably be good.
Yeah, like all you got to do is get like a Rubbermaid 1 gallon pitcher.
I love kombucha, man.
And just get a pot. You can even make your own. Get a pot.
No, yeah, you told me. Yeah.
Throw a few tea bags and put a lot of sugar in it, and make it dark, and then fill it up. The pitcher.
That's a damn shame, man. Because it's just I was so excited about that kombucha, but I feel like the alcohol just overwhelmed the yeast, and then there was too much alcohol, and then as a result of that, there was not enough flavor going on. It was just too perchy. I did not like that one. I would even. It's like a 2 out of 10. So I said 4 out of 10 before. That's like a 2 out of 10 overall.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry you were so disappointed with it. You know what I got from Trader Joe's? I got the fresh Alaskan cod fillets. They're 3 to a package, and I got the mahi mahis. They're 2 to a package, and
mahi fish.
Yeah, but the cod is good. I said, instead of me getting the pre-cooked breaded cod, let me try the fresh cod, and it was awesome. It was I put the hot and spicy dry rub on it. I got garlic powder, onion powder,
Oh yeah, I feel that.
Black pepper, Himalayan pink salt, and I seasoned it nice. I put extra virgin olive oil in the skillet.
I would fucking do that, man.
And I fried them up, and the leftover cod, I made fish tacos the next day, codfish tacos, and they were fabulous.
Oh, nice. What about the sauce that you showed us, guys?
Well, I'm gonna try that for the first time when my previous taco sauce is gone. I got
do it as a video. Do it with us now, please.
Well, not now. I mean, it's late over here, but I will video it. I mean, I will video when I use it, and then you can watch it. But
Nice.
but you know, you ever make a fish sandwich with really good tartar sauce, like
No,
you know,
I've done that.
yeah, like the one the tartar sauce.
I'm gonna get a beer, but I hear you to get a beer, but I still hear you, man.
Okay.
To make up for that fucking nasty ass kombucha.
Oh, you got to get the taste out of your mouth.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that is nasty.
Oh, gee willikers.
Did you just say gee willikers?
Yeah, gee willikers.
Let's play it again. Let's play it again. Let's do it.
All right, I am back. The rest of the ham and cheese sliders.
What?
The rest of ham and cheese sliders. Now, I'm going to go ahead and admit to you guys now.
Whoops, sorry.
So, although I am now part of the Still Reserve 800 Club, okay, I can honestly say I've been there, done that, but I can tell the hangover and what follows after this is going to fucking kill me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try with the
Here.
spicy mushrooms.
Here, buddy.
That's okay. I have food.
Good.
Kind of soak me up a little bit. I have the rest of the ham and cheese sliders wifey made the other night.
Ham and cheese sliders. You know what? You ever try the that yellow potato bread that it comes sliced? It's got like a Pennsylvania Dutch design on the front. It's called potato bread. It makes awesome French toast.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but to put into perspective, if I was to blow a BAC right now, I would say my BAC is probably 0.19, 0.20, way over the legal limit. I mean, I can tell I am like way, I am way beyond fucking shit faced right now. This is probably the most drunk I've been in a long time.
No, you're not drunk.
If I walked into the barbecue restaurant with Damien wearing this hat, would a lot of people stare at me?
You're not drunk.
Probably not. Because if you're with me and they know how people around me are, they'd probably be like, "Oh, you're normal with Damien. Go right ahead."
Oh, would you get a boatswain to get that horrible kombucha flavor out of your mouth?
I got a Scorpion Bowl IPA by Stone.
Scorpion balls? What? Oh, Scorpion Bull.
IPA by Stone.
Really?
One of my favorites. This is a 7.5% ABV.
I'll tell you, Michael brings a different, interesting beer every time he. Look at that. Scorpion Bull.
76 IBU. James, thank you, buddy. Let's
look at it. That's an IPA?
This is an IPA, man.
What else is new? It's like IPAs have taken over.
Well, because they're the most malty, because they're the most crisp, and they're the most drinkable. You're not going to have a fucking, I don't know, a lager if it's not hoppy enough. You're not going to have a nice, New England IPA if it's not juicy enough. So I feel like IPA is always the way to go because I feel like it has a nice level of hoppiness to it and a nice moderate amount of bitterness to it, but it still has some lager qualities to it. It's still kind of drinkable.
Yeah, they add a lot of fancy exotic flavors to IPAs, I noticed.
Like this one.
Scorpion Bull. What's the name of the brewery that makes Scorpion Bull?
Stone. I've been doing a lot of Stone reviews lately, and it's just, oh man, even just check out the description on this bottle. This brewery is awesome. So
let's see the carbonation. Hold up the the glass. Let's see that. Oh.
There's the carbonation. It's not too bad. Looks like an orange beer. It looks unfiltered. And the aroma.
The head dissipated really quick.
Dissipated a bit quick, but oh man, that aroma's nice. It feels like nice, it smells like nice fish for some reason. The aroma the nose feels like fish. Rich. Just fish rich. Fish. I feel like I could eat this with some fish sticks. Just man, something like
fish
that.
Tacos?
Yeah.
Fish tacos.
Really rich in copper. I feel like there's a lot of copper going on. Just when it comes to hops, definitely something experimental. I cannot recognize what the hops are, and if I can't recognize what the hops are, that's good news. So let's get into this one, shall we?
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Before I forget, if you plugged in the microphone and left the mic on the table and didn't put it on your body, just left it right on the table, do you know it would pick up your voice? That's how good those mics are.
Yeah.
It would still pick up your voice.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't even have to raise your voice ever.
No, yeah.
Because the microphone I'm using, I'm not using a microphone. It's in the webcam. It's a built-in mic in the webcam.
That's
and you hear me loud and clear, right?
Yeah. I feel like you hear me. Yeah, I'm clear.
I know Damien has got the headphones with the mic, the typical mic that's in, like if he was doing a radio show, that kind of mic.
Yeah.
podcast. It's a
That
shame.
makes sense. Let's get back to this beer review for 1 second. So this is Scorpion Bowl by Stone. Man, if you are a hophead, maybe this is like, if you're a head, like me, maybe this one's like a 6 or like a 5 or 6 for you. Just if you are not a hophead. Maybe this is like an 8 or a 7 for you when it comes to the IBU bittering units. So you're gonna feel this one. I would not recommend that you just start craft beer and you just go into this one. There are plenty of craft beers out there. There are nice golden ales. A golden ale. Basically, what the function of a golden ale is that it serves as a transition between regular macro beer to lager type beer. That is entry level. So if you have a lager type beer from the craft beer community and you realize that maybe it's not that bad, maybe you've had a blonde ale before, maybe you've had one of those. So if you have not done that yet, if you have not made the transition to this one is going to get you. I actually feel like this could be like a 9 or 10 for some people who have not done this before. It's pretty bitter. 7.2% ABV, 76 IBU. The bitterness is quite high. So I would not recommend sessioning this beer or trying to session or even trying to session this beer for people who have not been around it before. I wouldn't. Well, if you have done a couple IPAs, and it's at the point where when it comes to IPAs, you're like, oh yeah, I got it. I've done the T-shirt, man. I've got the T-shirt, bro. Then this one can really be, I don't know if it's snack beer even at that stage, but it could still be a beer that could keep you going. It's just when it comes to people who have not been around this beer, this is going to be like an 8 out of 10 for you. You're gonna feel a real kick out of this. Just you're not gonna know what's happening. And I bet you'll ask because I've been there. That if you've had a Guinness or a Blue Moon or maybe both, and then maybe a Pabst or maybe let's hear about a hazy IPA or something like that, and then you have one of these. Your sensitivity. I think I heard a rat. I don't think I heard a rat. That's good. But I think your sensitivity is to this. It's just going to skyrocket. So I would not mess with this. I'm just my final overall rating on the Scorpion Bowl by Stone. This one is.
All right.
I think it's like I think it's an 8 out of 10. I'll go with an 8 out of 10. It's pretty cool. So it's like a B, 8 minus, pretty much in that range. But yeah, you entry level craft beer drinkers out there, do not go after this beer. Hear that from me. If you're an entry level craft beer drinker, because I've had plenty of nights when I was an entry level craft beer drinker, and I made. Let me take a sip of the beer for a second. I made a fool of myself. Just if you are new to this, just do not go after this beer. Stone Scorpion Bowl. Do not do it. This is for people who have gotten used to craft beer and who are used to IPAs and things like that, who are used to the effects. You are better off used to, I think, at this point, if you are getting into craft beer, Oh, you're used to I think just blonde ales and New England IPAs and just stouts, but stouts that are very very low, not like imperial. Don't do anything imperial. Don't do it. After a while, you'll get into it, but just at the beginning, you don't do it because you never know what's gonna happen. So that's a bitter, bitter bitter. See what I did there? That's a bitter mistake that I made. So if you're gonna get into this, just get into it lightly. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. Don't go into it all like, oh, all these Bach ales and all these Doppelbock ales. Just don't do that. Just do me a favor. Don't do that right now.
Going to use the bathroom. Be right back.
Cool. That's good. But just don't do strong beer, man. If you are trying to transist radio from just regular old Bud Light to something like that, just don't do it. I'm giving this one like an 8 out of 10, but the reason why I'm doing that is because I've been able to take it in even after a couple beers. If you try to do this, no, forget it.
Is it an 8 point? What is it?
This is the Scorpion Bowl by Stone.
Yeah, I mean alcohol by volume. What?
This is like 7.2% ABV.
Yeah, if you're not accustomed to imperials, like you said, don't mess with it.
Don't do it, man. Because even after doing a couple, and even after reviewing a couple, when I've done shit like that, I'll go crazy. So I'm just saying, just do not do it. You're better off doing it after you've done a couple lagers, maybe a couple blonde ales, and maybe after you've done a couple New England IPAs, just something like that. So that's my take on it. For the intensity of this beer, maybe the intensity is like I'd say like a nice 6 out of 10 for me on the intensity. So it's still pretty up there. So I would not recommend that anybody do this beer if they are not used to things. I would not recommend that if they are going out to a bar for the first time and they see a Scorpion Bull IPA on the menu, that's like the first thing that they order. I don't recommend that.
Gotcha. Yeah, Damien probably
Left.
is filling up the porcelain throne because he had two pretty big steel reserves.
Dropping a few rebels in the old Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good that you have an interest in cooking, and you're getting better at it.
I'm back.
And a lot of guys, a lot of men and women, they're lucky if they can boil an egg, or they can't even boil they can't do anything.
Oh, it's very simple, man.
And no, it's easy. All right, now it's time for modern high-tech gaming.
Thanks, James.
Just give me 1 sec to do some screen sharing.
All right. There we go.
Oh, I think we're getting the multiple thing again.
Now he'll get it going.
Oh, nice.
This is called Arma. This is realistic combat.
Oh, cool. Still we.
Yeah, you're gonna be mesmerized once you see the details of Arma.
How many fucking mirrors is that?
Now that'll go away once he
How fucking deep does that thing fucking go?
it goes to infinity. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future.
What do you guys think about Cardi B? I like Cardi B.
I like to bang Cardi B,
I would like to fuck her.
but she has very long claws. She has very long nails. I know. Women with nails that long usually don't do any manual labor.
I would like to party with her.
But she, as far as maybe a little bedroom action, yeah, that would work out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about those Asian girls on all the kung fu movies?
I mean, they're cool.
Yeah, you got. I don't know. You know what? I really don't. I really don't like people that are great actors at acting sincere and honest, and then they like look in your eyes and they lie to you like over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's Asian women. Maybe because you, James, maybe because you glorify Asian women. So maybe because
No,
you glorify them, maybe
not-
because they fucking lie to you. I don't
No,
know.
no, the Asian women don't lie to me. It's Americanized other women. Okay, here we go. Here's
Americanized.
Americanized other women, not the Asian. Yeah, the more Americanized they are, the more they're fake. Now that's Damien. That's Damien, that soldier that's running. Okay, that represents him. Now he doesn't have. He's got a hat. I don't think he's got a helmet this time.
Okay.
I think it's yeah, it's a hat. It's a camouflagey hat. And away he goes. And he will occasionally narrate what he's doing. He's on an island in the Mediterranean, and he has certain missions that he must accomplish.
What kind of shenanigans are going on over here? I'm asking. Wait, actually, I think I'll just see. Gotti. Oh yeah, I think you got it. Oh yeah, I think you got it. Got it, swatty. Shotty, got it. You swatty. Oh, fucky. Fucky. Shitty. Oh. I want to fucking. That looks like Tennessee. I want to live in Tennessee. Shit. No. Wait, no. Stop tripping. Menu. Menu. Stop. Stop. Menu. Menu. Please. Okay. No. Fight code. No, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch. No, I just fuck off. I want to watch Dark Knight. Alright, so, oh, wait, oh, nope. Alright, there you go. Dark Knight. Here's a look at it. Wait, hold on. Like, oh. That's not it. I'm watching it the same as y'all. This is The Dark Knight Rises. Or, this is The Dark Knight. Those look like mash tuns.
Don't forget the guy playing the job. He thinks he can sit out and still take a slice. I know why they call him the Joker.
So why do they call him the Joker? I heard he wears makeup. Makeup? Yeah, to scare people. You know, war paint. Here comes the silent alarm. Here it goes. That's funny, it didn't dial out to 911. It was trying to reach a private number. Is it a problem? No, I'm done here. Do it.
Obviously, we don't want you doing anything with your hands other than holding on to your life. On the ground! Stay on the ground! Nobody make a move! Nobody! Stay out!
You and your friends are dead!
He's out, right? Where did you learn to count?
The wire is about 5,000 volts. What kind of bank does that?
Guys, gotta go. See you guys. Thank you.
Oh, oh, Zombieland. Roll zombies. You're muted. Mhm.
James.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, the guy left at round 23 and fucking pissed me the hell off and just left me by myself. I got down at round 23 because of him, but we're going on 3.5 hours, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night.
Yeah, you were muted, so I couldn't hear your narration. You were
Yep,
muted.
so I'll see you on Sunday night.
Yeah, he pulled an Eric. He split real fast, right?
Yep.
I guess these people only talk about beer and booze until they get drunk, and then they don't have any other interests. I guess I don't know. He told me he likes watching your gaming, and then he just like split.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm drunk. I'm sobering up, so hopefully I don't get sick. But yeah, I'm now part of the Still Reserve 800 Club. I can already tell you right now, I'm never going to do this again. Nope, not a snowball chance in hell. Because I can already tell the hangover is going to be terrible.
Yeah, but your communication is articulate compared to like him. He was like, I mean, you're able to hold a conversation.
Yeah, but like with this, I can already tell my stomach's bloated, and my stomach is like it's all rumbly because of all this. So I doubt I'm gonna get sick, but I can already say right now the hangover is gonna fucking kill me.
It's a lot of carbs in those two reserves. I mean, you must be feel real bloated.
Oh yeah, bloated is an understatement.
And then tomorrow we'll see what happens. How you wake up, you know. But
Yep.
But anyway, have a good
Yeah,
night.
yeah, good night. But I can already say, been here, done that, not doing this again. Nope, no way.
I mean, to win a drinking award, I mean, is it gonna put your name in the Guinness Book? I mean, what do you?
Probably not, but just it's an achievement.
Yeah, yeah. It's like with the nuclear Korean noodle soup.
Yep.
You know, it's an achievement, but I assume you did not. You don't have the potential of getting sick from that soup compared to the two seafood.
No, but this maybe.
Yeah. So all right, I'll catch you later in the weekend.
Catch you later.
Bye bye.
All right.